My name's Jake, and I found a bunch of pornographic magazines inside a dead man's house. Not just any old magazines, Australian softcore pornography from the early 90s. Now, me and my little mate Pete want to invite you to have a look at some pretty rude stuff with us. So hold on to your stiffies, everyone, and welcome to Smut Club 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Smut Club 1990. My name's Jake Smith, and today I'm pleased to announce that we are unpacking our first feature in a new magazine. And I'm joined in the shed out the back of Mum and Dad's house, as always, by my best friend from a few grades below. It's Peter James. How are you, mate?
I'm very well. Although I feel I don't know what it is. I feel some weird sense of a moral conundrum being on a new magazine. I feel like I'm cheating on the old magazine.
Yeah, look how crisp this one is. It's all nice.
Honestly, compared to the old one, this looks like it just came out.
Yeah.
The old one, I don't know what you do with it when we don't record, but it looks like shit. Like, it's gotten to that point where, you know, the front cover isn't like connected to the rest of the magazine anymore. It has been absolutely tugged
stuck
along
together
to tremendously, whether it be by you or by the dead man. But we are back in the shed, and I am very excited because I have another little friend. From school over. Could you come in the shed?
Absolutely, please.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, this guy recently suspended for chucking dog shit at the school girls in grade 9. He's back. He is back on the playground. His first time in the shed. Please welcome Matt Stewart, everybody. Hello, Matt. How you doing?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. In my defense, it was, 2-week-old dog shit. It was already white and hard. It bounced right off him. You made it sound like I'm flinging some sloppy stuff, making damage, but no, it was just a bit of fun. And I think the principal took it all out of context.
We got a future in law, old Matty Stewart here.
Yeah, white dog shit's fair game.
Yeah.
Really.
That's a misdemeanor at best. Now, Matt, I will realise that we haven't explained that we pretend to be children. Now, this is something that we do at the start of every episode, and I happen to forget to explain it to guests every single time. But
look, I figured it out. It was sort of. I don't think you need to do too much explaining. I reckon that became pretty clear.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that I am a school kid who's in your shed, I mean, why do you have to explain the reality of the situation?
Man, I'll tell you what, we were just speaking about this before we jumped on the Zoom with you. Because I've just moved to Brisbane, we've recorded all previous episodes for the most part over Zoom, and it was always kind of weird, that opening. But now that I'm sitting on the couch with Jake and I can feel his adult male leg hair on my legs, it's fucking tremendously disgusting. I hate it so much.
We did one live show, Matt, which was well attended, and we did a live show 9 episodes in. Who would have thought that would be a fucking awful idea? And we bought like school uniforms, or bought our own school uniforms. So we had these like tiny short shorts, and Peter got some custom embroidered polos, like a PE outfit. I tell you what, confronting, like not good.
Yeah. Well, that's what people pay the ticket fee for.
You'd hope they would.
Yeah, you'd hope they would, but
the live podcast is not just about the audio; it's about the visual.
Yeah,
and it sounds like they might have got quite a visual.
Well, that's what those 10 people that we comped to come in thought. They're like, oh, it's good to be here listening to a podcast, but to see a grown man's scrotum hanging out of these tiny shorts while we listen.
You've been
grown
to the
man's
club.
Scrotum. Great. I mean, I know most band names are taken. I think that one's still available. But it will be snapped up soon after this is released, I reckon.
I can see your head. Are you writing that down?
Oh, I am. That's mine.
I mean, it is really the only kind of acceptable scrotum.
For a live podcast.
Yeah, for a live podcast, of course. The non-grown man scrotum. That's for the Patreon. Okay, so now, Matt, so we're pretending to be school children. Mum and Dad have left the house. We've gone out to the back garden shed and we're looking through the porno. Did you have this experience growing up? Did you look through naughty mags when you were a kid?
Yeah, I'm remembering one. I mean, this has got to be the classic story that would have come up before, but I remember one time, maybe in year 7 or year 8, someone found a magazine in the bushes, and we're all going through it
That's gonna
at
be
the
4
bus stop on the way
episodes,
home.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, can I say, is it in a bush? Because everyone's around be like,
Yeah.
yeah, found a porno in the bush.
Do you reckon that's? I mean, it sounds like that can't be the truth. Is that just? I'm only thinking about it now. Is that kids going? I didn't get this from my dad, or they're just trying to put some distance between themselves.
Well,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's that your parents aren't going to go to the creek. Your parents have got better shit to do than go to the creek and find the porno. Like, it's safe. You might lose it to someone
Yeah.
else who takes it home, but it's like a communal library. There's little.
Oh yes.
When you
Okay.
walk along the trendy little streets in your neck of the woods, your mates, and they have the little the neighborhood library thing where it's a little wooden box someone's nailed together.
Yeah.
That's the.
I've only
porno
ever seen
the
them in
bush.
Brisbane, but sure.
Sure.
What is it where you give a book and then you can take a book?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
But it's always just Dan Brown's Angels and Demons. It's always that. You find any one of those neighborhood book library things are like, Dan Brown is in there, and it's not Da Vinci Code. It's Angels and Demons every single time.
Are we going to completely disregard the fact, well, not the fact that the possibility that maybe it's just been growing out there? Like, there's a piece of shrubbery that grows porno
Yeah, the
out
porno
in the
book.
bushes, and everyone's like, "Oh, I wonder who left it here," and the Earth's like, "I did."
The porno bush is appropriate for 1990 pornography as well.
Did you just write down another band name, Matt? For fuck's sake, dude! Are you kidding me?
Are you scribbling?
Porno bush? Yeah. I'm going to have
So
a festival line up by the time we're done here.
I reckon Sticky Fingers are going to come up later anyway, so write that down. I know it's been taken, but fucking get them on the lineup.
That's brilliant. So what? Found a porno in the bush. That was your first.
Yeah. Oh, well, all I recall of it was sort of, people were huddling around it at the bus stop. And then I reckon a few people took a page home with them, which is, I mean, it's all, looking back, very, very grubby stuff. But I mean, you've built a whole podcast around it, so I don't feel alone anymore. I certainly didn't take a page home. Everything.
You're better than that.
I'm better than
Yeah,
that.
you had to. You had your hands full of all those Sayo biscuits, didn't you?
Yeah. Wait, hang on.
Hey.
Wheat Bix. Jeez, Sayo biscuits, la-di-da.
So, mate, here we have. This is the first page of this magazine. Now, I got 3 of them when I acquired them in unceremonious circumstances. But this one is the second one that we're going to be going through. We do a page per episode, or a feature per episode, I should say. And this is the inside cover. So this is just page 2 of the magazine, and it's got a table of contents here.
That's what I'm most excited about, really. I mean, I haven't read any of it, but I'm really excited that we get to sort of preview the upcoming season.
Oh, yes, this is it. So
we get to see, I mean, I love how it's headlined. It's like they're over it pretty much. It's headlined every bloody week. Like they're sick of it. We've committed to it. Now we're doing it every bloody week. Here you go.
Yeah.
Page 24. Answers.
Readers' fantasies. We got Between the Sheets, Gripping Yarns, Bosom Wars. Bosom Wars I'm looking forward to.
Between World War I and World War II, we all remember it.
Harry Hard-Ons and Sticky Flicks. Hey, you said Sticky Finger, that's close.
Yeah, nearly.
What's these ones, Peter?
You got Swingers, Balls and All. Oh, a return on page 60 of The Cash Man, previously voiced by Tor Snyder. Captain Humongous. Oh, it's good to see that Matt's gotten a feature in here. Picture Cross teasers Cheeky Cross. Oh, I wonder what the difference between Picture Cross and Cheeky Cross will be.
We're going to do that on the Patreon, go through the crossword. Matt, the crosswords in these things.
Crosswords.
They've
Is
got
that what-
crosswords.
I don't know if they understand their readership that well.
Yeah, also, it's one thing that keeps on coming up is this is a porn magazine which you buy to wank to. So it's like, oh, I've just had a lovely cum. Now I want to be bamboozled by 7 Down. Like,
I've had the pleasure of the flesh. Now I want some pleasure of the mind.
but all the clues are like, I read through the clues and they're just for dirty words because the answers are things like cum, slit, piss, shit, tits. Like it's just the
nothing
dirt.
hotter than piss.
One of the answers was 69er.
69.
Home blokes and home girls. They're famous because so what's this magazine called? There was the one Picture magazine was the famous one back in the day. Is this a picture magazine?
This is the Picture magazine.
Home blokes and home girls. So I heard someone talking about them recently. So funny.
Fucking hell. So this one is edition.
This may be the same edition that I saw at that bus stop that day.
Well, this was published on September 28th, 1994. Where would that have placed you age-wise?
All right, that would have been vintage even then.
No, how old would you have been to the day?
I would have been.
Work out your date of birth.
Wait, what was the date?
September 28th, 1994.
94, so I would have been 10.
Well, that's a ripe old age.
Banging your sexual prime there in terms of finding porno magazines.
Peaking at 10. Back when I had a young man scrotum.
So this
Solo artist.
This is a number 316. And now we've got here, the article is called Just Ask Joe. And the subtitle here, it says, Ask Joe guest anything you like and we'll pay $20 if we publish your letter. So write to Just Ask Joe, the picture, GPO Box 5201, Sydney, New South Wales, 2001.
$20
so it seems to be. Yeah.
In 1990 as well. That's probably $50 today.
Well,
that's nothing to be sneezed at.
So they seem to get, there's a lot of this is reader submitted content that we've discovered. That's the lowest price that they've been paying so far. Normally it's at least a $50 if you get published. But then again, this one you don't.
Usually, if you get published, it's because you got your chuzzies out or something.
Yeah,
you're not just asking a question for another person that's got their chuzzies out, Joe.
So we've got here, it seems to be a Q&A, and I think we'll just go through reading them. I'm going to start from the top left here. So it's got questions that people are writing in to Ask Joe Guest, who appears to be this lady here at the top.
Matt, would you like to describe what's going on with Joe in that first photo at the top of the magazine there?
Okay, so Joe's sort of sitting back, looking pensive. Has got a pen. She's just having a think. She's wondering, geez, good question, I reckon, is what her expression's saying. How do I tackle this one? That's how I would describe her state of mind at that point.
Yeah.
What's her state of dress?
Oh, she's fully nude.
Straight to the how to tell you're an academic. First thing to describe in that photo, the pen.
Well, I figured the rest was probably went without saying, but I forget. Yeah.
Is that a
I very
Parker
quickly
fountain tip?
slipped over to the world of Picture magazine. Yeah. So what have we got? It's a Bic 4 pen. Looks like she's selected green, which is an interesting choice.
Oh, now that you mention on closer inspection, she does seem to have her mod out. I've almost missed that for a second. So we've got our first.
The first two things, the pen and the table of contents for you, Matt.
Fucking hell.
I read picture for the articles and the crosswords.
Yeah. Plus, you really did peak at 10. Fucking hell. Okay, so the first one's written here. It says, this is from one of the readers. It says, most women would know the difference between a circumcised penis and an uncircumcised one. Yet few men have heard of women being circumcised. Oh, all right.
Well, this has gotten off to a not so erotic start.
Yeah. Again, to reiterate, we do not read any of this ahead of time. This is all fresh. Could you please explain what this involves? Have Western, and then brackets white, women ever had this done? This is a genuine question to settle a bet.
Those are the pre-internet days. You couldn't just Google it. It's a whole process. You're gonna have to. You hope you get published in a magazine to settle a bet. Now you just pull your phone out of your pocket. Do Western bracket white bracket women. I'm googling now. Ever had this done?
Oh,
surely the first port of call for a question like this would be the library.
Yeah.
You would think, not just Ask Joe in a porno magazine.
But it's a pretty grim topic. I understand. Like, I remember having this thought when I was young. It's like, oh, because you hear about, you're like, but what does that involve?
Very different.
But right now you go, oh, it is a much more grim state of affairs. So I might as well write into the local wank rag and see if they know anything about the state of Africa.
Is Joe a doctor? What's her area of expertise here? Or is it just any question at all?
I think she just knows a little bit about everything.
Yeah,
by
right.
the
Well,
looks of it.
what's she answered here, Peter? I'll get you to read the answer because I'm not going near it.
Okay. She's just said, and very informatively, I've never heard of women being circumcised, but if it's true, I'll find out more about it. Hang on until I write again. That's all she said. That's it.
Now that's
What
labeled.
a fucking waste of time.
Surely she checks in before she answers. That's interesting
No,
to
she
answer.
does it on a typewriter. Once she starts, there's no going back. She's got to publish.
Now, are your 3 issues in sequential order? Are you going to find out the answer to this in the next magazine?
They're not sequential, unfortunately. So I don't
Oh,
think
righty.
we'll ever know the answer. Unfortunately.
The old fella wasn't a subscriber.
Oh mate, he was a subscriber. I guarantee that.
Oh, yeah.
There was boxes. I just grabbed a handful because it was already pretty
What?
sus.
So you just sneakily grabbed a couple out. on
Oh, I
the way
didn't.
home.
Oh, no, it was just because they were just dumping it all anyway. So I was like,
Right.
it's just throwing it all in the bin. I'm like, I'll grab 1 or 2 for the boys. This will be a laugh. And I didn't realize that was going to haunt me to make a fucking podcast about it. But here we are. Okay, so we're off to a cracking start here. That was absolutely the least informative thing I've ever read. Do you want to read this next one here, Peter?
Yes, absolutely. Next question. Was it you who featured in that Pommy Mag Club International? Why did you stop shaving your pubes? Anyway.
Anyways, I've heard
my
of female
question's not about
circumcision.
that. I was just wondering, what do you think about Malala? Anyway, I look forward to your section in the picture every week. I cut out all your pictures and stick them on my wall. No glue, I would assume. Also, will you do some more pin-ups for the picture? I think you're a gorgeous lady and should be very pleased with yourself.
From David.
David in Burnie, Tasmania.
Burnie,
And,
that's Josh Earl's hometown.
Do you reckon he knows David?
I reckon. Well, yeah, I definitely.
I reckon it's a pseudonym. I think it's a fake
You
name.
reckon
I
that's
think
Josh?
This is Josh Earl. Yeah.
You reckon that's 10-year-old Josh Earl?
Well, every time I've ever seen Josh, that's the first thing he asks me. Hey, Pete, why do you stop shaving your pubes? I enjoy your spots on comedy shows.
Yeah, it's the first thing on the who do you think you what's his name his fucking podcast? Who do you think you are, cunt? Well, you're back with another episode. Who do you think you are, cunt, with Josh Earl? You shave your pubes? What's the podcast called?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you know who I am?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but close with who do you think you are, cunt?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think? Way more accusatory podcast.
Yeah, that's
Who the fuck do you think you are? Welcome to the show.
That's when it's syndicated. That's how we get it in Queensland.
Yeah.
It's quite sophisticated down there, but we get it. We have to translate.
So anyway,
relatively crook questions off the bat. Is
Yeah.
that kind of the standard?
I mean, this has so far been some of the most, sophisticated writing in this magazine that we've come across.
No, this has
This
been
one,
pretty cruel.
this David from Burnie sounds like a serial killer to me. He's got the pictures up on the wall. I reckon it's funny, like, not that I expect at all that Joe, not even sure if she's a real person, but I certainly don't think she's the one replying to these answers, right?
That's
Would
what
they
she has the
bother-
ene. Obviously, it's her.
Oh,
She has
no,
the pen.
sorry. I'll have another. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
Matt, you're really dumb, dude.
Peter, you said it was a typewriter. I'm confused. You're all over the place.
Yeah, that's how she has the one pen. Tap, 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 tap. What's her response here? Do you want to read her response out here, Matt?
Yeah, please do it.
Sure. In response to David's question, Joe writes, "Thanks for the compliments. The reason I stopped shaving my pubes was simply because it was a pain in the ass and I fancied a change. But no doubt I'll start again soon. More pin-up shots for the picture? Well, what about last week? If you want some more, well, I guess you'd better take that up with Boxy." All right,
Yeah,
Boxy.
so we've met Boxy before. He's like the chief editor of this magazine.
His
Right.
name's Brad Boxall. And he was also
I like
apparently...
that. Calling him out, calling David out. How about last week?
Yeah.
Huh? Are you really a fan? Because like
Name 3 of my
literally the
songs.
very last
Name 3 of my pubes.
edition. I think she's rightfully pissed off there. David, what a fucking loser.
Rude. Also,
Actually,
it seems to...
do your research, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before you go off fucking half cocked writing letters to the editor.
To be fair, I think David's full cocked most of the time. All right. So the next question here, it says, when you're bonking. This writes
Bonking's
in.
great.
No, I love, but that's the first instance that we've got a ding, ding, ding for this fucking.
Big
the first
fan of
instance
bonking. Another one, if I can make a prediction.
Yeah.
Baps instead of breasts. Baps.
Oh, yeah.
that's great.
We've not gotten
Or
baps for
another
quite
one.
some time.
Chesticles. That was a.
Oh, really? We haven't seen that.
Yeah. I bet you.
That's a classic one, yeah.
Yeah. Chesticles and baps.
We've had
They're
chuzzies
making me feel
so far.
nostalgic. I don't think I've heard of chuzzies before. I penciled
Do you know
it
what-
together before.
Do you know what Tockley is?
No, Tockley.
Yeah, I reckon that'll come up soon. We won't tell you, but I reckon it'll come up.
Is it Tockley like? That's going to be for what's that? Some sort of rhyming slang, I'm guessing. Tockley, Batocki ham. Is it when we're on the right track here?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, working out the
Ham.
etymology of Tockley.
Ham. Ham comes from a pig. Pork. So it's a fuck. It's a euphemism for fucking.
Incorrect.
I had a bloody mate. I had a big old Tockley last night.
Yeah, it's not an incorrect sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind
Grammatically
of
still works.
Grammatically, but very off. Well, it means penis.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's always
that makes some sense too.
Tockley tingling. Tockley tingling.
I'll tell you one that I've never heard before that I discovered through this that I really enjoyed. Done my bickies. Do you know what that is?
Oh my god!
I've done my bickies.
To ejaculate.
Oh, done my bickies. Are the bickies the nads in this case?
No, they're just saying. There's one that was about premature ejaculation. They're like, oh, we found that 75% of men do their bickies before it's time or whatever. I'm like, do their
But-
bickies?
In this case, is that saying are the bickies the jizz or the balls? You know what I mean?
I can't imagine how either makes sense. Like,
Bickies,
it's
I mean
ball-
the little
yeah.
round biscuits.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
you got maybe a mint slice or something, but I don't see how that,
Shortbread, yeah.
really resembles a testicle. It's just round.
I don't understand it at all. But anyways,
Unless
Bickies,
it's like
yeah, no, I
the
haven't heard that
jizz
one.
is like a spread you'd put on like a bicky.
yeah, that's awful. An awful thing to say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, think about it.
All right. So it says here, Joe, when you're bonking, and I assume you do you ever play a role reversal game with yourself and imagine that you are in fact the lucky bugger? Shit. Do you ever play a role reversal game with yourself and imagine that you are in fact the lucky bugger burying himself deep inside of you? That comes from RN in Richmond, Victoria.
Now that is the most serial killer fucking thing.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah. Do you ever imagine you're the person that's fucking you? It's like
That is insane.
Do you ever have
What?
Do you ever have like cognitive dissonance during coitus? Do you ever disconnect from reality?
It
just-
feels like it because I do, and I would like to not feel alone anymore.
What's that movie where the actor's like 9 different characters? Or is like Patricia is like the evil...
Fight Club 4.5 times.
No. You know, what's that movie where it's like, oh, Patricia, that's Patricia, she...
Oh, they've got multiple personalities.
Yeah, I think it's like called Split or something.
Oh no, I don't know that one. Me, myself, and Irene. Is that it?
You, me, and
Grinch?
Dupree.
The Mask. Is it The Mask?
Ace
What's into that
Ventura,
situation?
When Nature Calls. I think that's it. Is it the bit where he comes out the rhino's ass? Is that it?
Jim Carrey played the Rhino and Ace Ventura. It was insane. So what's she responded to this one here, Peter?
Okay, so do I ever imagine I'm myself fucking myself? I've never tried role reversal, and I can't see it happening. As you know, I'll always try something new if I feel the urge, but I have to say I've never felt that urge.
Right.
She's very diplomatic.
She's so polite and diplomatic about it. I actually think she is answering these because they're all just like honest answers, like, "Oh, I feel uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
this is my job at the moment, so I will refrain from." You can only imagine what they're talking about at around the office. Or do you reckon they're real letters?
I reckon they are. But imagine,
Yeah,
here's what I want to bring up. Imagine if this is what's being published. Imagine what's on the cutting room floor.
Oh, I
my
was just
God.
thinking
Yeah.
that. Like, these are
Yeah.
the three that have been said. Have you heard of female circumcision? Why don't you shave your pubes? And will you do more pictures? And do you ever think about fucking yourself? That was the top three so far.
Imagine what didn't get through. Holy shit.
Yeah. I didn't really. I don't think I've ever felt this awful doing a podcast before.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
This
sorry.
is going to take me a few days to recover from. You don't want to get in this mindset too deeply, otherwise you never
Okay.
come back. You end up like David from Bernie, and you're sort of writing these bizarre letters.
It is absolutely awful, and I will say at no point do we glorify this, but it is a relic of yesteryear that this was published and sold, and everyone went, "This is okay to make." Like
Look, it's a time
so-
capsule. It was a different time.
Absolutely,
You weren't even alive yet, were you, Jake?
I was alive. Peter wasn't.
Yeah, I'm 14.
Matt, do you want to? Now that we're talking about getting into the mindset,
What year in
Yeah.
the shed is it? Is it a time capsule shed as well?
1994. Yeah, we're reading
94
these.
in the
This is a
shed.
brand new edition. We just came out.
Yeah, sick.
So I'm 3, and you're cum.
I'm the Bickies.
I'm the Becky.
I'm Bickies still.
All right,
Matt,
I'll
do you-
read this next one out if you like.
Yeah, please do
which-
read the question.
I'm just going through. So we've had Queensland, Tasmania, Victoria. We're going all around Australia. This next one comes from Redbank, Queensland. Whereabouts is that? to you?
Ipswich.
Ipswich, gotcha.
So-
Say no more.
Yep, say no more. All right.
No, say a bit
beautiful
more.
spot, say no more.
We're still got a bit of time.
All right, see you later.
Any guesses to what an Ipswich or Redbank writer named Michael his sort of areas of interest might be? Before we get into it.
In terms of
Maybe
substance abuse,
No, cars, women and cars and women.
Gotcha. All right. This is from Michael. There I was, paying for the fuel at my local gas station. Holy shit.
High five. Good boy.
Yes.
Now we
Holy
get to make
shit,
you come
that is
because you lost.
Oh, I'll go from the top because this is beautiful stuff. He's really painting a picture, Michael. So far, I reckon the closest I would say call a wordsmith that we've had so far. There I was, paying for the fuel at my local gas station when your beautiful features hit me from the mag rack. But it wasn't the picture I was looking at. No. There you were, staring out of a sealed cover of Hustler magazine with another girl. I spent $9.95 to buy a copy, and when I got back in the car, eagerly ripped off the plastic to find a picture set of you in a great lesbian embrace. But under the name Sandrine. Can we have more of these picture sets in the picture, please? But under the name Joe Guest? I've gotten used to it. What?
You go on to have a tug and you're like, I know
Yeah.
your name's Joe Guest. I can't come to Sandrine.
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 Fuck.
Is-
Is
Oh.
Sandrine a name?
I wish it was
Sandrine.
Sardine.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I
Sardine.
was thinking sardine as well, Sandrine. But all
A
these
sealed
I
magazine,
reckon
tinned almost. Peeled it open when I got back.
Yeah, the magazine was in olive oil.
So there was something fishy about this magazine. Ah, shut up.
Hey,
If it-
no. Good.
honestly, if you got these letters not to if you weren't asking for these in a mailbox, you'd be calling the cops. Don't they all feel like on the wrong side of stalker and beyond. But of
Yeah.
course, it's the business, I guess.
Mate, all people that write into anyone that engages with media in this sort of way, I think is a lunatic. Like writing into a magazine,
Oh, yeah.
I feel this way about radio callers as well.
Yeah.
Letters to the
you're
editor.
right. Yep.
It's never your stable minds.
Like,
you know
why
what I
would
mean?
you ever willingly take time out of your day to engage with something like this?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like you must.
Or make
You're
a
on a bunch.
podcast about it, or
Yeah, I mean, we all actually, you're fucking
Yeah,
right.
yeah, these people are obsessed with this to the point where they'd write in. Oh my god!
As we're 30 minutes into a conversation about it.
Oh my god! Now I'm going to make a bet here and just say that I don't reckon it was her at all. I reckon he's just gotten it wrong.
Well,
he's just seen another blonde lady.
With a pen.
She's included a picture. If you look in the middle of the magazine, it says, is this the sort of thing you wanted to see, Mike? And she's included a picture of herself engaging in, quote unquote, a lesbian embrace.
Oh yeah. Maybe it was her. Oh, okay. Well, I'll answer here. It says, you're right. You did see me in Hustler. It was a shoot I did in Mexico last year. It was great fun, and I'd do it again. To me, it was just another job with a bit more spice. But you won't see a set quite like that in the picture, so you'll have to keep parting with the $10. But my advice is to stick with the picture, as this is the real me, with my real name, and nobody can dispute the fact it's terrific value for money.
How much does a picture magazine in 1994 cost?
I'm so glad you asked. I believe it is to the value of $2.50, including GST.
So that, I mean, this page alone, what have we had? 4 letters. That's $80. They've got to sell. Doing what's that? What are we talking about?
20.
No, you're the bloke that likes the pens and the fucking table of contents, mate. You do the math.
Come on. You've started it.
I reckon that's $32. 32 copies they got to sell.
Is that much?
32 just to break even on the front page. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to readers sending in naked photos of themselves.
Or printing
I
costs.
just had a little flipboard.
I'm guessing Joe Guest probably charges a bit. So really,
Yeah, she'd
they
be on
must
a
have,
wage.
they must have
surely.
sold big numbers.
I reckon it was a very well-selling magazine. Like, to the fact that I remember the picture magazine you brought up straight away. It must have been a fucking staple, like. And you know, you could purchase it if you were 15.
Yes, that's right. Well, I think that's why she said that you won't find those kind of pictures in this magazine, because there's like a level of how
Moodage.
graphic it can be or whatever.
Yeah, I think would the main difference just be there isn't any like penetrative stuff going on really, because there's visible mutt, you know, like that's out there. You can see it. I've just flipped over to a page and it's definitely there.
Yeah.
But there's no actual bonking taking place in the magazine. Is that the difference
Right.
between...
Well, yeah, bonkifying is X-rated. So
It's defined by the Oxford Dictionary.
yeah, if you're bonking, and that's X-rated, so that can't be sold unless you're in the ACT, I think, back then. So that's why it's softcore, and this is really softcore. Like, you're not going to see any even lesbian stuff. I thought that's even a little bit racy for putting in here, but, you know, there you go. Well,
And she signed it at the bottom there, Joe.
oh, she has signed that.
It's very nice. Right next to that
Oh,
asshole of
name.
another woman.
Signed off, Jocks. With 2 X's. Oh, lovely stuff. All right, Matt. Well, what do you think? What's your initial impressions? How uneasy do you feel?
Well, yeah, it was just, I don't know. I just don't know if you want to get into the minds of the readers of Picture Magazine. And unfortunately, I think we've done that a little bit. We've seen too much.
We're probably about 36 minutes too late for getting into the mindset of fucking picture readers. Also, I will say there's something going on with my laptop, which means that occasionally it's just playing random sounds in Peter and I's headphones.
Just the whole episode, like you'll be halfway through saying something and Jake's laptop will go, ta-da!
And it is brand new, about 3 weeks old, so I'm glad that's, yeah, just did another one then, sorry. Okay.
I've looked up Joe Guest. It looks like, yeah, she's an actor, an English actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's, I mean, a lot.
Look.
On her IMDb, she's been in.
Oh, English former glamour model.
Oh.
She played Sexy Neighbour in Tug of War in 2006.
Oh, I know Tug of War, Sexy Neighbour. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Time has not been
She's
kind.
fucking not looking great now.
I think, to be fair, I think I just picked a fucked photo just then. She
Oh.
actually looks fine in all the other ones.
Oh, no. It says Former Page 3 beauty Jo Guess reveals her devastating battle with fibromyalgia that left her too exhausted for sex.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
That's
what
upsetting.
a lovely... What is that? Let's not look at that. That's awful. Okay.
she's still alive?
Is she still alive?
Peter, is this a rabbit hole you want to go down?
A little bit. I mean, fuck.
It's like a oh, that's an awful, terrible. Okay, well, will you get well soon, Joe? Maybe we should... Where do you go from there? I don't know what to
Write her a
say.
letter.
Yeah. Hi, Joe.
Yeah, all the best, Joe, if you are listening. Bloody hell.
Oh, I hope you're.
This
yeah.
has been. This is truly awful.
What a
I hated this.
yeah, what an awful start to this magazine. Well, got anything to plug, Matt? On this note,
Oh, so sorry. So terribly sorry.
what alias would you like us to release this under for you?
All right, Matt Guest, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, well, look, I don't know if there's huge crossover between our podcasts, but I do one called Do Go On, and it's sort of it's similar to this in a lot of ways. There's a text that we've normally written ourselves based on a historical topic each week, and then two other people, Dave Warnicky and Jess Perkins, and we go through different topics each week. The last one we did was about the lost city of Atlantis, which is like a mythical city that was supposedly swallowed by the ocean, and so sort of go back in the history of where that came about and stuff. But do other ones like recently I did a report about John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown.
Oh, yes.
And, just all sorts of stuff. I'm trying to remember other examples.
Mate, I have listened to a few of Do Go On, early ones, but the history of AFL and Vlad the Impaler, two that stick in my mind. I remember very vividly listening to those. Fantastic podcasts, very informative, very funny. It's great.
Oh, cheers. Oh, JFK, we did a recent two-parter about the life of JFK and then the assassination of JFK.
The what? He's what? What happened
Oh,
to
no,
JFK?
spoiler. Spoiler alert.
So I'll tell you after. I'll tell you off the air.
Everything's all right with him, isn't he?
That's not
He's
how you
got
want to find out.
fibromyalgia.
Who's been looking after the States if he's... Oh. Anyways. Very good. So do you have anything, any live events coming up now that you're out of lockdown, Matty?
Well, what have we got coming up? I think I think most of the things I've got have already sold out, but which is a little humble brag there. Which I think the appetite
my
for stuff in
muscles are getting
Melbourne
bigger.
now that we're opening. Honestly, maybe MCG, and unfortunately, just not enough room for everyone. But no,
I heard you sold out the MSG.
Hopefully, as festivals happen next year, I'll be doing stuff at those. So if you just look up my name, and,
Or Sandrine, you go by both.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandrine is what I got. Yeah, and hopefully David from Burnie, if you are listening, he'll be going at it all over again. I reckon, David. I reckon he'd be right into this. Is he the one who wondered if she pictured herself as the one fucking herself or whatever?
No, that was RN from Richmond, Victoria.
Oh, okay, yeah, RN is definitely listening and having a go, I reckon, right now. So
lovely stuff. Well, Matt, thank you for joining us. Peter, what do you got going on? Anything of note?
Shad and Pete Save the World, Wynnum Fringe coming up.
Correct.
Gold Coast in December. If you want to come and see us, just head to my Instagram. You'll see all the stuff there. Diabetes. And Jake, what's going on with you?
Good Chat Comedy Club, as always. We've got shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have some... Wynnum Fringe, if you're out on the Wynnum area, Bayside, Manly, that kind of thing. We've got about 9 shows in the Fringe this year, so you can get onto our website or our Instagram and check all those out. Very exciting stuff. Cool. All right. Well, I think I hear Mum and Dad pulling up in the driveway right now, so we best pull our pants off and fuck off. But
when they pull up, we pull up. That's the rule of Shed Club.
Mate, thank you very much. Shed Club? Do you just... is
that what we're called?
It's got sorry. It's Smut Club, but I am absolutely changing this podcast today. You are welcome to the last episode of Smut Club because now it is Shed Club. Have a look at the size of the double door galvanized one over there. Jesus Christ, wouldn't mind getting inside that. Fucking hell.
When you're walking
thought
into
we were
a
off
shed, do you
topic
ever
a bit
pretend you're
today.
the shed?
Shed Club. Oh, God damn it. All right, Matt Stewart, thank you very much for joining us, mate. Much appreciated.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Bye.